do a show. Draining the coffee. All right. Okay. Well. Oh, here comes the neighbor on the motorcycle. Doesn't matter what the temperature is. He rides to work. As long as there's no snow on the ground. I've seen him out there in 45 degrees. Ugh. No, thank you. All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Today is Wednesday, July 10th, 2019. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. Oh, so good. Running low on that Costa Rican coffee I brought back, but it's great stuff. So tasty. Well, this was day 2 of waking up ahead of first cup, getting some work done. And I'll be honest, I don't like it. I don't want to do it, but I feel that I need to. So I'm going to keep doing it. Can I tilt this a little bit? All right, here's what we're going to do. Hold on, I got this. Bam. That's a better angle. All right. I have, since I was sick, I got this phlegmy thing going on. Coughing, often hacking stuff up. It's gross. But fortunately, coffee makes that better. Coffee makes everything better, doesn't it? I like coffee. So what was yesterday? Yesterday was recorded a Monday episode, a Thursday episode. Had a meeting. Was supposed to, the highlight of the day was supposed to be having a massage, but unfortunately, I got a text just before the massage that my massage therapist was attacked by a dog while running. Oh. She sent me pictures. She's gonna be okay. It's not that bad, but oh my God, horrible. So I felt bad for her, and then I felt bad for feeling bad for myself. So I was looking forward to that massage, but it's okay. We'll reschedule. Everything will be fine. I've got another busy day today, 2 meetings, digging through some book work and just trying to move that ball forward. That's how we do it, right? Just keep moving forward. What else? Yeah, I don't think there's much to talk about for today. Just trying to catch up. There's a lot of good stuff going on. Stuff goes in cycles, goes in waves. And, you know, sometimes things are really busy. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes I'm really efficient. Sometimes I'm not. And when things are busy and I'm not efficient, that creates the backlog. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. But we got some questions, so let's talk about these questions. And remember, if you want to ask a question, best place to do it, drop it below. Or if you're someone who listens to this show later, you can always email me, jeremy@whistlekick.com. Yes, we are available on all podcast platforms, not just Martial Arts Radio, but First Cup. Check that out. Have you ever considered making a Master Hopkick stuffed animal or action figure? Yes. In fact, we are right now laying the groundwork for a bunch of Master Hopkick stuff. If you subscribe to the newsletter, to the Whistlekick newsletter, which you can do so at whistlekick.com or whistlekickmartialartsradio.com, you have been reading the first story of Master Hopkick, kind of his origin story. It's coming out in 10 parts, and it's been a lot of fun. Mostly because I'm not writing it. You know, great member of the team, Anne, has been writing that, and she's killing it. And there are a lot of things that we will launch into once that story is done. Will an action figure or a stuffed animal happen right away? No. One of the things I really want to do is get a costume made and show up at tournaments as Master Hopkick. I think that'd be tons of fun. but that's not cheap. So we're probably not doing that soon. There's a activity book that we did with Master Hopkick. So if any of you out there have children, you can go to masterhopkick.com and you can see that. It's free. Word search, and there's a little bit of a story that threads through it, but it's coloring. It's, if you got kids, print it out, give it to them. There are some very mild and what I would expect to be universally accepted martial arts lessons in that book. At some point we'll print it and bind it, but we made it and then the production on it was problematic and expensive, and so instead of holding on to it, we just released it. All right, next. Any suggestions on how to loosen up before class, before training? And this could be martial arts training, could be any kind of training, any kind of class. I feel strongly about a 4-part warm-up. Excuse me. So the first thing that you do, ideally, is you do something that will raise your heart rate just a little bit. Some kind of motion that is not risky to you. And I've talked about this on Martial Arts Radio a number of times. It's going into the book that I'm working on. That could be a fast walk, very light jog. It could be burpees. It could be squats. It could be jumping jacks. It could be jumping rope. Anything that you can do where the risk of injury is as close to zero as possible. And those movements can be very different for different people. I know people who can just cold start running. I know other people that if they don't spend 30 minutes warming up their hamstrings, they're going to get hurt, even with a light jog. So you do something that works for you just enough that you go, oh, okay, my heart's moving. All right, so that's phase 1. Phase 2, you're doing joint movement. So it would be like rolling my wrist, both directions, full range of motion, doing the same thing with my neck, moving it around, and doing all the joints in my body. That does 2 things. 1, it allows you to check in with your body, see how things are feeling, what feels good, what doesn't feel good. And 2, warming up your joints actually is a valuable thing. For the most part, the 2 things that keep your joints healthy are movement and pressure. And day to day, we don't move our joints to our full range of motion very often. So to do that, of course, is beneficial. It's healthy, but it also will help you kind of check in and see what's going on with you that day. That shouldn't take very long. And then at that point, you're looking at doing something a little bit more aggressive to warm up. Again, it should be something that has very low risk of injury for you. So maybe if you went jogging in the first phase, you're running a bit faster and for a bit longer, a few minutes. And the goal at the end of this phase, phase 3, is that your heart's moving faster. Maybe you have a little bit of trouble talking to somebody when you're done, or during it for sure. And that really warms your body up for phase 4, which is to address any stretching needs or injuries. And you've got to be careful with this. You don't want to spend too much time in that phase, because if you do, your body starts to cool off, and then you start your actual involved training, and you've defeated the whole purpose because you've warmed up and cooled down, and it's not going to help you at all. So if you start working on stuff, if you start stretching and find that you're cooling off, that you're losing the benefits of being warm, you got to roll back in the process and do some more. I'm not a big fan of static stretching, never have been. That's a whole other subject. If somebody wants, we can talk about that tomorrow. Drop the question in there. But that's my 4-part warm-up. It's something I use myself. It's something I advise others on. And yeah, so give that a whirl. And the final question today, I'm sorry I keep being all nasally. Which has had the biggest impact on you personally? Martial Arts Radio, Martial Journal, or First Cup? So it's not Martial Journal, and that's because my involvement in Martial Journal is more behind the scenes. Once in a while I'll write something, once in a while I will edit something, but for the most part I let the team over there handle that. for the sheer fact that I am overwhelmed and have too many things to do. And that is one of the things that not only it does well without me, but I'd argue it's flourished without me. It doesn't need me. And it's taken on its own personality because of that. And I love that. So that leaves First Cup and Martial Arts Radio. The answer is martial arts radio, but it's not as big a difference as you would think. First Cup has given me a reason to wake up every morning for a year. It has gotten me better at this sort of improvisational speaking. There's no script. There's nothing going on here. I don't have anybody else to talk with. I read these questions and I answer them, and that's really helpful. But if you go back to early episodes of First Cup, I would just kind of stare. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I didn't wake up very well. But now I'm able to roll out of bed and form thoughts and speak to you in a somewhat intelligible fashion, even before caffeine kicks in. And I think that that's a pretty valuable thing to have. I like it. But of course, martial arts radio really has changed me pretty dramatically. It's exposed me to amazing people, amazing martial artists all over the world who have challenged me in my thoughts and reinforced some of my thoughts. I've found people that I agree with, people that I disagree with, many people that I like and have become my friends, even people I don't like, even people that I don't want back on the show. But I've learned something about myself in almost every conversation. In fact, if I dug real deep, I could probably find something impactful from every single episode. Like right now, I'm in conversation with someone who will come on the show, someone who's holds some celebrity status in our world. And this is like the third time we've tried to get them on the show. And it's been really frustrating because the previous two times we had time scheduled for conversation for, I think one of the times we had scheduled to record and one of the times we had scheduled to talk about recording. And I was blown off both times. And that sucks. So learning to let that stuff go, that's been big for me because that's not something I am particularly skilled at. I don't let things go easily. You've probably noticed that. Yeah. So I think that answers those questions. What am I going to do now? I am going to do the post-show things that I have to do for First Cup. I'm going to sit, maybe have a second cup of coffee, maybe watch the news, or no, not really watch the news. Maybe I'll watch a little bit of TV. I don't do that too often. And just kind of see what's going on in the world. So here's your homework. Before I give you your homework, don't forget, we do the show every weekday morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. And if you're not subscribed to us on Instagram and on Facebook, do that. We put out some great content there. If you're not checking out martialjournal.com regularly, you should. We've got articles going up every single week, not quite every day. I think we're averaging like 3 a week. If you want to write for Martial Journal, we're always looking for writers. In fact, we should probably put out a push to work on that. I think we might need some more people over there. Scott, if you're watching, let me know if we need to work on that. I'll help. And yeah, just martial arts is great. Tell other people it's great. Help us tell the world that martial arts is great. Help us spread what we're doing, because it's all for martial artists. I mean, really, at the end of the day, here's the goal. The goal is we help martial artists with products and services and content that helps them, that makes them happy. Thank you, Scott. And through that process, I make a living. I'd like to make a good living, but it doesn't have to be anything extravagant. I just want to feel like we're making an impact on this thing that honestly has given me so much. And I know it's done the same for so many of you. All right. Homework today. Warm up, impact, master hopkick. I want you to move today. We tend to think of exercise as being the opposite of being stagnant. So I'm sitting right now. The opposite of sitting here right now is not going to the gym and going hard and sweating. It's just moving. Moving can be walking. In fact, I'm slowly coming around to step counters, pedometers, little activity trackers. I'm going to put mine back on. I don't wear it overnight. I'm going to put mine back on shortly. Because I think most of us grossly underestimate how much we move. From the research I've done, the human body does best when it accumulates about 10 miles a day. That's 20,000 steps for most of us. And yes, I've done some research on this. I've done some personal experimentation on this. I know it helps me. Movement, walking, impacts almost every system of your body. It's healthy for your joints. It helps with digestion. It is mind-blowing. And while exercise has a lot of great benefits, it does not have the same benefits as movement. So if you are someone who tends to sit, be aware of that. And just for today, I want you to spend 5 minutes that you would not have otherwise walking around. Could be 5 minutes of walking during your lunch hour if you have that kind of a role. If you teach martial arts, make part of today's warm-up 5 minutes of walking. And while they're walking, you can talk to the students about something. Give them some lessons. Do some call and response. In fact, quite a few children learn better while they're active. So, lots of reasons you can do it. 5 minutes, you can find 5 minutes if you want. Do it. It's good for you. All right, I will see you back here tomorrow. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. Take care. Peace.